Yo.
Alright, so boom.
Alright, so boom. What up, what up, what's up, YouTube? JC on Ditto. Back at it again with y'all with another one. Nah, so today's topic, today's conversation, today's talk, today's. Oh, I got a haircut, right? Just to update y'all on the little thing. I got a haircut, but my barber let me know that at the end of the day, I have to still grow it in even more. So if y'all see, this is where my hairline used to be, and now I'm like up to here of a hairline, like right there. So I have a couple more like weeks to grow, so that part could grow in some more. But overall, I finally look clean. Finally got to get a haircut. Fix that line up, and be careful when going to barbers and things of that nature because people will like mess up your hairline bad. Alright, so boom. So somebody asked me, or people wanted to know about growth. Like I told you guys, I'll be here educating you guys on transgender men, transgender lifestyle, trans mans, and basically just my life period as I go and as I get comfortable. Because you guys already know I'm not a person that's like super comfortable having these conversations or just talking about my private life. It comes and goes, and when I get comfortable, I talk about it. So growth, growth equals, growth basically. Anytime you hear somebody referring to growth or bottom growth, it talks about the lower extremities, the lower areas of the bodies. All right. I don't have a print, so don't be looking. Okay, so that's what it talks about. The bottom areas, your private areas, what everybody honestly just has questions about, regardless of whether you're straight, bi, gay, whatever. It don't matter, girl, boy, baby. Anybody has a curiosity about the next person's private part. That's just natural, which is why I really don't get too mad when you guys ask about my private areas. I mean, nobody should be asking anybody about their private areas, but it's something that us as humans are curious about. When you first start your hormones, or whatever the case may be, for going from female to male, when you're a female, you have a clitoris, you have a vagina, you have a pussy, a vagina. That's, what a female has. Therefore, if you're transitioning from female to male, that's what you will have until you get your surgeries and things of that nature, whatever the case may be, regardless of whether you're on hormones or not, right? Now, with that being said, when you start taking hormones, now everybody's pussys and everybody's vaginas have different looks. You have someone that's small, you have brown ones, you have ones that have big lips, you have one with bigger clitorises, you have one with small clitorises, like a bean. So I'm gonna give you a demonstration, all right? So I don't have any eggplants, which was supposed to represent the penis. So I'm gonna use tomatoes, peppers, and two Maggie cubes. All right. So this is a small, tiny Maggie cube. This is the other one. I feel like I'm in sex ed class. So when you first start on hormones, in about like your third month or so, it depends. Like I said, everybody's different. Everybody takes hormones differently. Everybody takes onto things different. Everybody's genetically different. Everybody has different looking bottom areas. So therefore, everybody's different. When you first start on hormones, right? Your sorry, your clitoris looks like this, which has a hood over it, right? Any female, when you first, if you ever look at your bottom area, you should know what your clitoris looks like. Or if you never went to school, I'll put a picture in there and show you what it looks like. You know, a lot of every female has different body parts down there. And I'm sure when you went to sex ed class, they don't talk to you about that or whatever the case may be. Or your mom should have spoke to you about it. You know, you have, um, you know, different areas compared to the next person. You understand what I'm saying? So now, right, when you take the hormones, you go from this to that. So it depends. It could go from 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, but it happens pretty quick. It goes from this to that. So it grows. Your clitoris itself grows. And I believe, depending on the person, it grows up to 4 inches. So if a trans man tells you I have a big dick, I mean he has a dick because a clitoris technically is an enlarged, it's enlarged, and it can get big enough as to where it like literally sticks out to probably the size of a pinky or like, depending on who the person is, it can go to the pinky or like the ring finger. So it can get pretty big. So imagine a female clitoris, and if you're a woman, you're probably gonna look down there and be like, whoa. Because the clitoris itself is not visible to women. You cannot really see it, unless you go, up in that area really. But as a trans man, I can stand up and the whole thing is just, out there. Especially when you shave, it's just like, whoa. You get hard-ons. You get random hard-ons. So hard-ons. As a French-speaking person, my R's are horrible. So please bear with me. Yeah. So you get hard-ons. So when I first started transitioning, I never did my research on that part. I never knew that happened. So I always used to wear tight drawers, tight briefs. So when I started transitioning, I was wearing tight briefs or whatever, and as the months went by, they just started getting caught, and I just was feeling uncomfortable. I'm like, yo, what the hell? It was so uncomfortable. I'm like, why do I feel like this? So one day, I went and looked at my junk. And I'm like, whoa. At the time, I wasn't sexually active either, so I did not know what was going on. So I went to the bathroom and I looked at it and I'm like, what the? I came home, looked at it, and I'm like, yo, this shit is huge. Like, what the hell? I never, I looked at it before, it never looked like that, prior to me transitioning. So I'm like, this is weird, why is it so big? And as the months went by, the year, 2 years, now I'm on my 3rd year, it's huge. Like, it's big. And then when, I'm, about to engage in sexual activities, it grows. Like, I actually get hard. Which I don't know if it happens when you're, I think it still happens when you're a female, because obviously that's the stimulator for all my guys out there that's watching. You gotta treat the clitoris. It's great to go and jam it up and, go inside and get your nut on, but take care of your woman. Back to my topic. That's the stimulator. So I believe it gets as hard. Like I said, I wasn't sexually active when, I was a female as much. So I really didn't know my body the way I know it now. And it's different from back then. So it grows. There's a vein on there. It's crazy. Because I really be having to sit there sometimes like, yo, I can't even blame the people that's not trans. Because these phenomenons baffle me. Like, I'd be like, yo, wow, this is dope. This is crazy. So imagine hearing it, or even not knowing what happens, and then you're like, wait, you get hard-ons before surgery? So yeah, trans men are able to have a penis. Now, can your penis go inside of a lady and do what it's supposed to do? No, because of its girth and how big it is, or how big it isn't. You're not able to, have intercourse until you have bottom surgery. So that is another thing I want to add for anybody that might be confused. Like, wait, can you penetrate a girl with it? No, you cannot. But it's big, so you can do other things with it, in a sense. Yeah, so that was that, because a lot of people have been asking, and you get hard-ons. You get random hard-ons. That's what I was talking about. You'll be in the street, let's say, like how men get hard-ons. You go in the street, you see a bad girl, you see somebody you're attracted to, or whatever the case may be. woo, you'll feel it. And like even if I say or whatever, you'll feel it. It'll come like it's weird and it's hard to explain until you experience it and you're like, wait, this is like, oh. If you ever been a female and you wanted to know, okay, no, that's not the same. Never mind. No, no. Never mind. That's not the same. But yeah, so it goes from a little pepper to a big pepper with a hood over it. So you have to make sure. So technically, many trans men are uncut. If you're ever thinking of an uncut penis, a lot of trans men are uncut. So trans men out there and ladies and anybody else who's watching, make sure you clean yourself because when it grows, when you have bottom growth, you tend to the hood because you have a hood over your clitoris when you're a female. The hood goes over the big John. So when you do get sexually aroused, what happens is it just creeps out. So it goes from this to that. Therefore, and then when you orgasm, it shrivels back up and goes right back into that. It's so crazy. Therefore, when you shower and clean up and all of that, you have to make sure to pull it back to clean up inside of there to make sure you're clean because those areas tend to start smelling. And because you're male, so you have to make sure to keep those areas clean. And on top of that, just hygiene period. I think anybody should clean themselves altogether. But yeah, that's the story about hard-ons. And yeah, there's no print, all right? Don't be looking. But that's the story about hard-ons. So if you guys want to know anything else regarding trans related topics, which I'm here to answer. If, like I always say to you guys, if I'm comfortable with it, I will talk about it. If I'm not, you won't hear it from me. And if I talk about it, I have no problems with comments. Anything that comes out of my mouth is anything that I'm comfortable saying,